The year is 1995. One of the greatest, most influential anime of all time was born. Neon Genesis Evangelion, with big robots, depression, and lots of screaming. One might question where the property would go after the end of the series. 1997, Hideki Anno released the end of Evangelion. In Bandai dropped the LMHG line of model kits. Ever since, the world was never the same. The LMHG, or Limited Model High Grade Evangelion Unit with Zero, came out in 1996, leading up to the release of the end of Evangelion and retailed for 2,500 yen. I picked mine up for about $30, and I think it's still a pretty available kit if you want to get your hands on one. As you can see, it's not super detailed, not a lot of color in it, and super heavy on the seam lines, so fix that up. Here I rescribed all the panel lines. I did about 15 passes through each one using the Tamiya panel line scriber 2. I didn't use the handle or the handle thing for it because I think it's just way easier to use just the blade for it. This is my first time scribing, and it's not super hard. I messed up a couple times, but you can really just get it out with some sanding sticks. And for the seam lines, I started with a 400, then I used a 600, then an 800 grit sanding stick to just get the seam lines out the best I could. This is a very old kit, so it's super seam line heavy, but I think I did a pretty decent job. Yeah. Also, in this step, I didn't show it, but I prepped the pieces that needed to be painted for painting by just sanding them again, using that method of changing up the grits of the sanding sticks. Here are the completed legs. As you can see, I got the seam lines out. On one of the legs, though, it was plastic broke, so the seam line is kind of permanently in there, but I hit it the best I could. And the panel lines are scribed, and I did a little extra scribing to flavor it up a little bit, get a little spice in there. You know what I'm saying? This is the entire kit, scribed and seam line removed, and I think it looks pretty good in this stage. Now we need to go on to painting and such, so it can look like it's supposed to. Painting time. As I mentioned before, all the parts I already sanded and stuff to make sure they're ready for painting. I only showed myself doing one layer of paint here. I did multiple, but it would just take a lot of time to show every single thing. But yeah, this is the paint. Tragedy struck. As you can see here, when I was holding one of the pieces by tweezers because I was testing it out because I was getting all the paint in my hands, the piece shot out and I lost it and I could not find it. So I was forced to switch the chest plate entirely, which I was kind of bummed about, but I could not find the piece. So yeah, that's too bad. For the shield here, I went ahead and I drilled it and scored some stuff on it using a hobby knife and some tweezers. I just kind of scraped into the plastic there to give it a kind of rugged look. I went ahead and I dry brushed it. Well, it's not really dry brushing, but I painted on some brown and I rubbed it off, and then I also put on some black paint and then rubbed it off, and I kept doing stuff like that to make it look weathered and stuff. And I put silver paint on the edges with sponge stripping to make it look all awesome and great. Moving on to the decals now. I have a whole box of decals and stuff. I have water slides, dry transfers, and sticker style. I'm gonna be using some water slide decals here. I'm just gonna use the ones that came in the box, and I have some Meng ones if I want to use those. I'm not sure how well they're gonna hold up considering they're like 20 years old, almost. Yeah, like 20 something years old. So I'm not sure how well the water slides are gonna hold up, but we'll see. If all else fails, I have stickers from the real grade of Unit 0 that I can use. And yeah, to decal time. Whoopee. So here is the finished build compared to the straight out of the box one, and as you can see, it's a lot more detailed and it looks like it's actually supposed to. And this kind of just goes to show that you can make like literally any model look at least decent. In this case, it looks decent if you just put the time and effort into it. So yeah, here's a comparison, and then it's gonna go into just the finished build. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. It's my first video. There's gonna be a lot more to come, so just let me know in the comments you like the video. Yeah, okay, goodbye.